On Screen Manitoba is an innovative membership-driven association that leads, builds, and represents the Manitoba screen-based industry.
I wanted to do this ever since I was 12 years old. I was in the 80s when VCRs first came on the market. And my father on the reserve every weekend would rent a VCR, bring it home, and bring a stack of movies home. And basically for the entire weekend, we would watch movies. So in the morning, it was me and my sister that had control of the VCR. During the afternoon, it was all family time. And in the evening, we were kicked out so they could watch the adult movies. And I was fascinated by this experience and by movies and disappearing to different worlds. And being a young teenager, growing up on the reserve, I wanted to escape, and I was able to escape into these movies and into these stories. And from movie to movie, I started getting ideas of what I want to be when I grow up. So if I watched Backdraft, I wanted to be a firefighter. If I watched Medicine Man with Sean Connery, I was going to find a cure for cancer. And after each movie, I tell my parents, okay, I figured it out, this is what I'm going to be. And then I watch another movie and decide, okay, that's what I have to be. So after a few months of this, I realized if I made movies, then I could be in each one of these worlds and tell these stories and then move on to another one. And I thought, wow, that's it. That's the coolest job. And so I asked her this question, and then this story comes out. And these girls were my friends now as well. I had been with them for months. And you know, my instinct is to turn the camera off, get up and hug her and cry. But the director had to keep rolling and had to keep asking questions. And so I did. And my entire insides were shaking with this battle that I was going through. And once she was finally finished telling the story, I turned the camera off, and we hugged, and then I sat her down and asked her if she realized everything she had just told me, and I was ready to break the tape if she didn't want any of that actually shared, if it was actually a moment between friends and she didn't want it in the film. And what she said was just so strong. She said that she did realize what she was telling me, and that if sharing her story might help other young girls avoid it, then that's a good thing. One good thing that could come from it. So she said, please, if you could put it in the film, I'd really, really like that. So it's in the film. But it was really hard, and I ended up going home and sort of crying the whole night, and really questioning what am I doing, and I think those are the hard moments as a documentary filmmaker that you're faced with. Is you're telling real human stories that involve real people, and sometimes you feel like a monster. Is what I'm saying. Is keeping that camera rolling, because I knew this would be a good story for the film because of the reality it represents for not just young women but women, to bring awareness to that issue, all of those things. I am happy though with the way that I did end up navigating it with her, and knowing that consciously she was ready to do this, So yeah, I wanted to share that with you because of the surprises, I guess, that you never know kind of what stories you're going to get.